The next tip I wanted to say is this thing I talked about a while ago on here called the 7-minute phone call. And it's basically it's what it is. It's what I just said. It's calling somebody for 7 minutes. So instead of feeling like you have to set aside 30 minutes to an hour in your assumedly, I hope that's a word, very busy day, like you set 7 minutes. You decide that I'm going to call this person from 12 to 12:07. And at 12:07, I'm going to go. And if I decide not to, I can stay longer. But instead of feeling like you have to reconnect with somebody for an hour, you set 7 minutes to call them. How much easier does that feel? How much more of a weight does that feel like it's lifted off of you than like having to call somebody for a long time and chat through their job and their girlfriend and life and their new apartment and their move and like hit all those points? Like, you're not going to hit all that in 7 minutes, but that then means then you can call them next week and do that same thing again. And if it stays on longer, if it stays on for 30 minutes, great. But taking the pressure off of this like big loaded conversation you have to have with somebody that you haven't talked to in a while and makes it this easier, like quick chat just to say hi, how are you, miss you, hope things are well. 7 minutes. I love the idea of a 7-minute conversation. I started doing it after I talked about it. It must have been like a couple years, maybe a year ago at this point now. But I really wanted to bring it back on here because I think it's a great tip. Like, I don't even think I thought of it. I think I read it in a magazine or something, but whatever. Like, I'm taking it now. So it's Guyset's 7-minute phone calls. I think it's a great way to stay in touch with people. Deciding that you want to call one person a day for 7 minutes or one person every other day for 7 minutes makes it feel so easy to do so, makes it feel like not even this effortful thing that I'm explaining about maintaining friendships and keeping in touch. I kind of almost wish I started with the 7-minute phone call thing because like then it takes away a lot of this effort and a lot of this pressure to maintain connection and keep in touch. But I think this is probably the best tip I have is to call people for 7 minutes or FaceTime. Like, I think calling and FaceTiming is so much better than texting. Of course, text, DM, like do all the things that you do because that's still great ways, or those are still great ways to stay in touch and let people know you're thinking of them and you saw this meme or you saw Punch the Monkey and that made you think of them. Like, great. Like, that's also a really good way to stay in touch and let people know that they're on your mind. Highly recommend that as well. But I think a phone call is much more impactful than any of that, obviously. Like, when you call someone, when you take the time out of your day to like say hi and look at them and like spend that time with them, it's more meaningful. And like, you know that. Trying to take maybe just start with one a week instead of every single day. Like, that's a lot. One a week. Try calling one person every week for 7 minutes. Like, you decide that on Tuesdays at 12, you're going to call someone for 7 minutes, or on your walk back home from work. I think there are specific times that this is really easy to do. I think on your way to work, it might be a little early, but like on your way to work or at lunchtime at work, after work, when you're cooking dinner or when you're having dinner, when you're doing laundry, when you're like folding, like there are moments throughout the day that we're doing like menial tasks that we all do, that we have to do in order to make our day work. I think that's a great time to give somebody a call and say, hi, how are you? How are things? Thinking of you. Like, 7 minutes. That's it. That's probably the best tip I have in this episode. Actually, you can decide that. Maybe you think they're all bad. I'm just kidding. Maybe you think they're all great. Like, but I think this is a really, really good one. And I'm going to start doing it too. Like, there are other friends that I haven't talked to in a while, and I think this is a good way to keep in touch with them.